All right, guys, 3:30 it is, time to wrap it up. And we got the Fed meeting as expected. They left the rates unchanged. Reaction was muted, but not directional. Then we got that little pop there. One pop, and that was it. And then a little slow grind back up again until the press conference started, excuse me. And then basically Powell managed not to step in it, at least what it seems like, because the market did not take off in a weird direction, and it's pretty much in the neutral in what he said. So good sign. At this point, we are at least back to where we were. So range-bound trading, the market cannot do its thing without having Powell kind of scaring the bejesus out of it. So basically starting off a range bound again. If it starts trading below that 5,600, I would lean in on the short side. If it starts trading above the if they start trading above this area, the 56 or 5700s, I would start leaning in on the long side. So at this point, I think the closest one is basically to see if that lower edge at 5600 is going to hold, or if they're going to try to challenge it. So, but if they close above it, I'm going to start off range bound. And if they start trading below it, I would start leaning in on the short side. So that's the way I'm going to approach the overnight. And the market is kind of in a holding pattern. So it doesn't see like it was kind of a couple of weird moves here, but it's not that this freak out mode when it's running one way or the other. So let's see. Let's hope we can hold that 5,600. And at that point, we can stay range bound and then go into tomorrow's trading with at least some sort of some certainty, you know. Now, news for tomorrow. We got at 8:30 jobless claims, productivity and costs. Wholesale, that's at 8:30. Jobless claims, productivity and costs. 10 o'clock we get the wholesale inventories, nat gas report at 10:30, and the 30-year auction at 1. So that's what we got for tomorrow. We're starting off range bound if they hold that 5,600 level. When it comes to bonds and the Nasdaq, bond market did not move a whole lot either. Pretty range bound and a little reaction back and forth, but pretty much muted reaction. So staying range bound on that guy as well. If anything, I would start off with maybe slight bias to the upside, given that they have been net trading up against this upper edge. See if they can run it higher above that 14s. Probably going to set up an edge here around the 20s right now. So that's going to be the edge. If they can take out the 20s, we'll stay on the long side. If not, they'll probably stay range bound. But initially, I'm going to start off on the long side and see if they can buy weakness for moves higher. Nasdaq also in a pretty good spot given the volatility. That'd be the probe below the support area, but they're right here at the 730 and 770. So if they hold above these two support areas, I'm going to start range bound. If they for some reason run below it, I'm going to start off on the short side. So that's kind of the way we're looking at Nasdaq. So capital flow wise, you see they took out that ledge briefly at the K period, and then they were right back up again. So as long as you hold that ledge at the 730s, I think we're starting off range bound. And if not, just stay on the short side if they start trading below it. Right now, I'm not going to worry about the long side since we are down at the lower end of the range. So it's pretty much either you stay range bound or you hop on the short side on this in the overnight. And then finally, oil and gold. And gold is range bound and nice little probe to the downside here early on during the announcement, but pretty much back up here, stay in the range. So I'm not going to worry about gold going directionally right now, but if anything, I would stay on the long side of this. Starting off range bound, I would keep the bias to the upside to see if they can extend past the 3400s. So watch the overnight. They start taking out that 3405s. I would definitely stay on the long side. So I'm starting off range bound, favor the long side. But watching that upper level, if they take that out in the overnight, yeah, well, then we'll be back on the long side of this. So that's it. No trades on gold at this for me today. And then finally, oil drifting lower. So maybe also some impact from this discussion. Usually there's very little, but it looks like oil is drifting right back down into this lower range towards the 56s again. So they were up here again, probably not upper level. Now they get knocked down and they've been steadily trading lower since. So I would be looking for a move down here to the 56, 58, 56, 57s. That's your attractor point in that lower distribution. So if I look at capital flow on oil, you can see we are right here, that attractor right here at 58. So that's kind of what I'm looking at for oil at this point. So range bound trading right now, if anything, slight bias to the downside to see if they can take this lower. All right. So that's oil. back to the ES, and the only two trades I took today was earlier on before this crazy stuff started, and there was one side of the edge, one short up here, and then one long at the 57.15s. Was it 15s? I think it was. Let me go back. So here are the two trades I took today. One up here against the 56.55s, a small trade. One down here at the 25s is where I took my long trade, and I had a pretty good trade going, but shaking out of that thing, missed my exit target here at the initial balance low, but kind of how it went. And then since then, I haven't re-engaged it. It had been pretty sloppy after that news, so going into it was not much going on, and afterwards has been pretty sloppy back and forth. So nothing really to trade here. I mean, it's not any methodology trade here. So you're trading on your own. You're basically trying to get short against the mean if you think that's going to hold, but it's too volatile. It's just not the mean trade is not it's not that high of a probability type trade. It's better to fade the edges, but you can see here when you have a rundown like this, you don't want to be stepping in front of an edge aggressively. And looking at this grind here, this bar right there is like 07 down to the, so this is like a 10-point bar. So unless you're willing to trade with a big stop, because if you get long on this guy on the way up, you had to have your stop way outside of here, so that like 15-point stop for that to work. And with this volatility, they can run it down really easily to run it. So I opted not to trade. It's too volatile, too uncertain. So it's like, okay, try to look for that ID level setup and trigger. Those are the things you need to look for a good trade. And here we have none of that. It's just reactions to news, headlines, and algos running it back and forth. So $21 right now, two trades on the ES. That's all I had for show for today. Could have been 50, a little bit above that if my second trade worked out, but I got shaken out of that one. Alrighty, guys, we'll leave it there. We'll see you back bright and early in the morning. We'll see how tomorrow's the overnight goes, how it closes, and if we're going to get maybe a little bit of a rally going on here now when the Fed hasn't totally thrown cold water over on everything. So, alrighty, guys, we'll leave it there. I'll see you back at 8:05 bright and early tomorrow morning. Later.